So my name is Nannup. I'm a proud Whadjuk Noongar from the southwest of Western Australia. Grew up in the city of Boorloo or Perth, but now currently living on Gadigal country in the city of Warrung or Sydney, and working across both Darrell and Darug country. So back in 2018, 2019, I was a part of the cultural squad for Culture is Life, and Canada has been on the cards for a number of years now, but due to COVID it's been postponed. But I guess it all stems from the work that I do in community with culture and the knowledge that my elders have attained for me to be able to get in this position now. As a young person who lives and breathes culture, I feel that it's very important for me to share and have conversations with other Indigenous people, First Nations people around the globe, to have conversations about colonisation, decolonising, but have conversations about the impacts that colonisation has had and how we can also surpass them and be stronger through culture. So I'm going on this journey with an open mind. I'm willing and eager to learn everything and anything, but it's just about how culture can have a role in our social and emotional well-being, and how we can take strength from our culture to overcome, the negative impacts that, are within our community and, are evident smack bang in your face. So just healing mechanisms that I can take from other First Nations people to bring back to my community and my mob, and I guess be stronger. As a Whadjuk Noongar and having good relationship with Nanaroma, Winmar and Anipat Dudgeon, and seeing it on my country Noongar Budja, that blessing is really important. Like, I like to put on your thing, muck around, be silly and whatnot, but seeing my country, seeing that blessing ceremony, kind of just, I wouldn't say humbled, but like just put things in a perspective and how big this trip actually is and what it means to our people. So it was really touching, really emotional moment. Wish I was on country to feel, all the senses of that blessing, but the power it, had and the impact it had, via, the tools we have now is really impactful and special. So for me, social and emotional well-being, it's a word that we hear quite a lot. Understanding it and then knowing how to deal with it are two different things. But for me, the way I go about it is culture, and from a young age I've heard that culture is everything. Culture is life, literally. So if there's anything that I can tell to other young mob, it's connect with culture, and as it might sound, it's pretty broad, but have conversation with elders, have a conversation with other mob, and just be willing to learn, like understanding that we're all accountable for the sustainability and life of our culture. So we want it to last another 80,000 plus years. So it's basically on us. There's so much healing and there's so much power in it. So connect to culture whichever way you can. And not everyone's a dancer, not everyone speaks the language, not everyone is an artist, and that might not be our fault, but we've all got roles and responsibilities in this world, in our societies, in our communities, and each and every one of us are diverse as the next person, and we're all like a piece of the puzzle. We all have a role to play. The connection or relationship between social and emotional well-being and strong social and emotional well-being and culture goes hand in hand. They should have a relationship. They should actually be one, especially from an Indigenous perspective, because culture is everything to us. It's about physical strength, spiritual strength, emotional strength. It's about all of that, and when we have that connection to culture, well then our social and emotional well-being and our spirit will be strong as well. So they should go hand in hand and be one. The importance of connection to country, first, as an Aboriginal person, as a Wajak Noongar, is really important. If country is healthy, then so are you. So there's many different things you've got to talk about when you're talking about connection to country. Is country healthy first? If not, how do we make it healthy? And then when it's healthy, how can we take that health and strength from country and then turn it into emotional, social and emotional well-being? And how can we look at it as a holistic thing as well? So it's like the food that we're getting off country, the shelter we're getting off country, the ceremonial tools we're getting off country, like the boomerangs and also the spears. If that's not all healthy, then the purpose of it all is not worth it. So if your country is healthy, you're healthy, your social and emotional well-being is healthy too. Yeah, no, just very appreciative for the blessing ceremony this morning, but yeah, we were lucky enough to catch up with some mob earlier, Uncle Shane Phillips, and I knew this learning, but he just kind of reinforced and reminded me that there's a lot of intergenerational trauma within our communities, but if we sit and dwell on that and not focus on the generational strengths, well, then we're going to go nowhere. So it's really important to, look at our strengths, look at the things that we can do, who we are and what we come from. That's the only way forward. So it's realigning ourselves with the old people, with the old values of the country. So focusing on generational strengths and generational resiliences as well, instead of just that generational trauma. Yeah, but like on the real, just excited to head over. I think these mob call it Turtle Island, or over to Canada, and just to connect with young mob, and obviously we're in this society and our societies around the world, we're an Indigenous person before anything, but when you strip away that, we're just young people too. So, and when you're around other First Nations, other blackfellas, you're able to not have to wear that Indigenous coat or Indigenous mask. You can just be a young person compared to outside when we're interacting with other mob who aren't First Nations. So really excited to connect with other young mob and just be myself, be Derek, be DJ, and yeah,